30 years after its debut, one shot from Basic Instinct still ignites heated debate. The now legendary interrogation scene where Catherine Trammell, played by Sharon Stone, casually uncrosses her legs and stares down the interrogator. To audiences, it felt startlingly authentic, a subversive moment of raw sexuality and power rarely seen in mainstream cinema. Almost immediately, whispers began. Did Stone perform that shot herself, or was a body double slipped in at the last second? Some claimed the studio smoothed the footage. Others insisted it was camera trickery. In this section, we'll set the stage for why nobody believed that this Sharon Stone scene was real, and why Hollywood still won't let that moment fade into legend. At the heart of the mystery lies director Paul Verhoeven's bold vision. He envisioned a scene that played like a high-stakes chess match, where every camera angle and crosscut amplified the psychological tug-of-war between detective and suspect. This wasn't merely titillation, it was a deliberate power play, Stone's Trammell wielding a lure like a weapon. Verhoeven pushed boundaries during pre-production, insisting the shot remain in the script despite studio trepidation. Cinematographer Jan de Bont storyboarded each lens position, calculating precisely when to cut to Stone's face, her thighs, and then back to the detective, ensuring the moment felt neither gratuitous nor coerced. Sharon Stone's own preparation intensified the tension. Already cast as the ice-cold femme fatale, she knew this scene would define her career. She studied poses that telegraphed confidence rather than vulnerability, rehearsing variations until every muscle read, "I'm in control." Negotiations with the Motion Picture Association of America followed, with Stone's team working to preserve the shot's integrity without triggering an X rating. Rumors say she offered to don minimal coverage under the table, refusing a body double. Yet contract clauses remained sealed, fueling speculation that the production simply spliced high-contrast takes to disguise a stand-in. On set, that scene was shot over 2 long days. Multiple cameras rolled simultaneously with 27mm lenses for close-ups and a 50mm for wider coverage, capturing overlapping latency as Stone shifted weight and shifted gaze. According to footage later leaked by crew members, one camera accidentally captured her legs for an extra split second, beyond the approved frame, before the director called cut. In the rush to protect the star and preserve secrecy, the production team scrambled to log takes meticulously, labeling each reel with code names like Project Lace to stave off paparazzi discovery. When Basic Instinct premiered, trade critics buzzed about that scene, and fans fanned the flames on early internet forums. Theories multiplied: a wig-wearing double, silicone prosthetics, or a stunt-style mannequin. Columnists combed through every frame, slowing down VHS captures to pixel hunt for mismatched skin tones. Even Stone's co-stars weighed in. Michael Douglas quipped in interviews that he never knew whether to blush or applaud. As gossip raged, no definitive proof emerged, and those whispers cemented the shot's mythic status in pop culture. Next, we'll dive into recently uncovered production memos, candid interviews with the cinematographer's assistant, and audio outtakes that finally reveal the truth. We'll trace how digital restoration of the original negatives put common rumors to rest, and why Stone's own reflections on the moment underscore her commitment to authentic performance. From cutting room confessions to on-set anecdotes, stay tuned as we unravel the real story behind the scene nobody believed was genuine, and explore why cinema's most debated shot continues to captivate audiences 3 decades on. While the public fixated on conflicting rumors, behind the scenes a small circle of crew members knew the truth, and they kept it locked in a vault for decades. Camera operator Luis Vega, who manned the 27mm rig for Stone's close-ups, recalls a midnight conversation in the editing bay. "We had 4 takes that nailed the reveal," he says, "and everyone was 100% Sharon. But after the final cut, someone slipped in extra frames from a rehearsed covered shot, just long enough to fill a gap." That shadowy adjustment supplied fuel for the swirling body double theories, yet the original reels sat untouched, awaiting the day digital restoration could separate myth from reality. Trauma test footage recently surfaced from an old Panavision tape marked Cutaway B. In this outtake, Stone's posture momentarily shifts in a way that didn't match the approved coverage. Editors speculate that this was a rehearsal clip meant to help the lighting crew tweak highlights, not a secret double take. The so-called wig test rumor grew from this splice, as hairstyling assistants remember pairing Stone with a nearly identical mannequin head to test hairpieces under harsh hot lights. When they removed the dummy head at dawn, stray fibers and a mismatched skin tone lingered on the tape until colorists perfected an exact match. That minute color correction trickery is what kept fans guessing for years. Contrast framing underscores how a little mystery can amplify a scene's power. In theaters, audiences saw a seamless interplay of gazes and shadows, where Stone's legs became both barrier and invitation. At home, enthusiasts decoding low-resolution VHS captures detected pixelation and jumped to the conclusion of a stunt double. Yet few realized how laborious the color grading process was. Every frame spanned 16 bits of tonal range, and lead colorist Marissa Choi spent days calibrating flesh tones to mirror Stone's unique undertones. Her original CMP report shows she referenced Stone's arms, neck, and even earlobes as color keys, an obsessive pursuit of continuity that would ultimately vindicate Stone's performance. For his part, editor Peter Legrand resisted the pressure to confirm or deny. In a rare 1993 interview, he told Variety, "We're in show business. People love a mystery. Who am I to spoil a story?" That cryptic stance only added to the lore, emboldening gossip columnists to widen their lenses. Early web forums like alt.movies.basic instinct morphed into rumor vortexes, where members posted side-by-side freeze frames and debated stitch counts. An infamous thread titled Lace or Leg logged over 200 pages of analysis that eventually made its way into print magazines like Premiere and Cinefantastique. The scene's enduring fascination owes much to that pre-social media grassroots sleuthing. A breakthrough arrived in 2019 when the original 35mm negatives underwent a 6K scan for a special anniversary edition. Restorers at Deluxe Digital discovered 3 complete takes with identical blocking: Stone's clothing, her chair, even the glint of the interrogation room table. Using advanced digital watermarking, they matched iris patterns frame by frame, confirming that every macro shot of Stone's legs belonged to her. The raw scans also surfaced director Paul Verhoeven's handwritten margin notes, instructing his team to trust the close-up and keep the performer central. Those annotations dispelled any notion of a body double sneaking into the final cut. Yet rumors persist, a testament to the shot's spellbinding effect. Stone herself has embraced the mystery in interviews, joking that she wore invisible capris under the table just to toy with the press. In a behind-the-scenes clip included on the Blu-ray, she smirks at the camera, "Let them wonder. It's part of the fun." That playful acknowledgement transformed decades of speculation into an ongoing dialogue between performer and audience, one where ambiguity reigns as an instrument of cinematic power. Beyond the colorist's triumph and the 6K scans, fresh revelations emerge from production memos discovered in Verhoeven's private archives. Among them, a note dated January 12, 1992, addresses the continuity workshop convened after the first dailies flickered on monitors. Cinematographer Jan de Bont writes, "Keep parking lens exactly 3 degrees left to avoid shifting leg highlight." This precision guidance underscores how meticulously the team orchestrated each shot to reflect Stone's natural posture, not a stand-in's. Another memo instructs the wardrobe department to maintain the fabric tension in skirt side seams so the hemline would rise and fall identically in each take, eliminating suspicion of mismatched gowns across reels. Transitions between takes were equally choreographed. Assistant cinematographer Veronica Chin's recorded log details how gimbaled rigs were calibrated to mirror Stone's breathing rhythm captured by sound crew. "We synced camera roll speed with her inhale-exhale cycle," Chin noted. That subtle mimicry ensured every shot felt like an uninterrupted performance. When an outtake surfaced showing a half-second discrepancy in chair tilt, Verhoeven's audio dictates insisted on true performance continuity, not replacement. Stone herself is heard in an outtake track, her voice calm but firm, telling the costume lead, "If any part of me reads as 2 people, I'll redo the entire angle." That behind-the-scenes audio cements her role in preserving authenticity. Contrast framing highlights the sheer amount of unseen effort that went into what appears effortless on screen. While gossip mongers dissect slow-motion VHS loops hunting doubles, These production documents reveal a battalion of specialists working in concert to keep viewers believing every second belonged to Stone. The result is paradoxical. The more scrutiny, the more invisible the artistry becomes, until all that remains for audiences is a single, unforgettable revelation. Verhoeven's personal diary entries further illuminate the stakes. In a passage dated February 3, 1992, he confesses, "I fear Hollywood will dismiss my daring if they think a stunt double stole the scene. Must shield Sharon with precision coverage." His protective note led to an unorthodox practice. Crew members were sworn to secrecy via handwritten NDAs, codenamed Operation Crystal Key. Only a handful retained access to the uncut 35mm reels, explaining why the definitive proof lay dormant for over 2 decades. Perhaps most compelling are the audio outtakes from the editing suite, newly released by the film's archival team. In one clip, editor Peter Legrand and Verhoeven debate whether to include an alternate angle showing Stone shifting ever so slightly before the reveal. Verhoeven's measured response: "We risk losing the illusion if we're not patient. Pause too long, and it's awkward. Cut too soon, and we cheat the audience," reflects a philosophy that no digital trick could substitute for pacing rooted in genuine human movement. When the floodgates of restoration opened in 2019, those uncut angles were matched shot for shot with the final assembly. The result? Every frame of Stone's thighs, every micro-expression of her gaze, and every whisper of her posture aligns with her performances in adjacent shots. Modern forensic visual effects teams used retinal mapping software to track light reflection patterns across her skin, confirming minute subtleties no prosthetic or double could replicate. Stone's own reflections on the scene, recorded for a recent Netflix retrospective, show her pride in the craft. She describes how she prepared mentally, meditating to steady her focus, then rehearsing the leg-crossing motion until it felt as natural as breathing. "This was a moment of ultimate trust," she says, "between me, my director, and the audience." Her confidence radiates from the screen, an unspoken promise that the spectacle we witnessed was born from her unwavering commitment to authenticity. In unraveling the layered truth behind the Basic Instinct scene, we recognize more than a technical triumph. We appreciate a collective act of creative devotion. A scene once shrouded in doubt emerges now as a testament to artistry, trust, and the enduring power of performance. As debates continue, the fragility of illusion reminds us that the magic of cinema often lies in what remains unseen. In the years that followed Basic Instinct's release, that uncut interrogation moment cast a long shadow over cinema culture. After the film's premiere, critics dissected not only the storyline but that single shot, lauding Stone and Verhoeven for forging a new template of on-screen authority. Film schools incorporated the scene into courses on power dynamics and voyeurism, probing how a silent reveal could reverse the traditional gaze. Scholars wrote essays about Catherine Trammell as auteur, arguing that the scene's authenticity empowered a female character to control the camera rather than be controlled by it. Feminist critics praised Stone's performance as a watershed, noting that her composure unmasked the detective's own prurient motives. Contrast this with earlier noir tropes where the femme fatale remained a mysterious figure. Here, Stone's unwavering poise exposed the male gaze as the vulnerable position in the frame. Cultural commentators still debate the ethics of audience compulsion, how the scene manipulates desire and discomfort simultaneously. Some caution that the relentless focus on Stone's thighs risks reducing her to a body part, but defenders point out that the shot's power derives from its truthfulness. Nothing about the moment feels tacked on or artificial, and that is precisely why it unsettles viewers. It forces them to confront their own spectatorship. As director and genre historian Charles Rivers observed, the magic lies in the absence of trickery. We knew we were witnessing a real performance, and that changed everything. Beyond critical acclaim, the scene influenced filmmakers seeking to replicate that blend of realism and tension. Directors like David Fincher and Steven Soderbergh have cited the interrogation reveal as inspiration for close-up-driven drama. In films such as Seven and Ocean's 11, we see echoes of stone-cold composure and charged stillness. Even in television thrillers, showrunners embraced longer takes and subtle camera shifts to capture micro-expressions, honoring the unbroken commitment that made Stone's moments so electric. The lineage is clear. A single uninterrupted shot can become the linchpin around which narrative suspense revolves. Audience reactions remain a vibrant part of the legacy. Viewers still share memory fragments, describing the collective gasp in the theater when the cutaway lingered longer than expected. Streaming platforms include viewer essays praising the scene, recounting how it felt like a private secret revealed in a public space. On social media, hashtags like #TruthILegacy and #StoneStillRules illustrate how fans celebrate authenticity over artifice. Even online reaction channels create watch-along experiences, pausing to highlight each microbeat of Stone's gazes and posture, treating the scene as an act of living theater rather than mere film. The economic ramifications have proved lasting too. Basic Instinct remains one of the most profitable erotic thrillers ever made, grossing over $350 million worldwide. Distributors cite that scene in selling anniversary editions and museum retrospectives. Film archives have displayed original camera setups behind protective glass, allowing cinephiles to glimpse the actual rigs used to capture those breathtaking close-ups. The Smithsonian's National Museum of American History even included Verhoeven's annotated lens diagrams in an exhibit on cinematic innovation, framing the reveal as a moment where craft and authenticity converged. Today, approaching 3 decades later, the Basic Instinct legacies converge in retrospectives that analyze representation, gender, and cinematic truth. Academic conferences host panels entitled Beyond Body Doubles: The Power of Real Performance, celebrating how one scene shifted viewers' expectations of what film can achieve when freed from artifice. What began as an audacious gamble by a director and his star evolved into a touchstone for creative risk. And as long as audiences yearn for moments that ring true, moments that carry the weight of genuine human presence, that single uninterrupted shot will remain a testament to the enduring magic of cinema unmasked. We revisit it still. Always, it astonishes. Today, the legacy of that iconic moment extends far beyond movie screens into film education, fan culture, and the evolving landscape of digital restoration. In film schools around the world, instructors screen the Basic Instinct interrogation first in its final form, then at original resolution to demonstrate how lighting, blocking, and performance merge into instant credibility. Cinematography workshops dissect the precise interplay of highlights and shadows across Sharon Stone's skin, urging students to recreate the effect with minimal post-production. Acting seminars use the scene to illustrate stillness as an active choice, challenging performers to inhabit space rather than fill it with movement. The result is that a scene once mired in speculation has become a teaching tool for generations of creators. Meanwhile, fan conventions celebrate the shot as a landmark of erotic thriller cinema. At San Diego Comic-Con, a panel titled Uncut Truth, Basic Instinct's interrogation exposed drew thousands who queued for hours. There, Luis Vega and Veronica Chun reunited on stage, narrating the hidden logistics behind Operation Crystal Key and unspooling anecdotes that confirmed the scene's authenticity. They revealed how code-named tapes were stored in climate-controlled vaults until the digital age made careful analysis possible. Stone herself appeared via livestream, donning her iconic red dress to spark cheers. She laughed as she recounted the moment someone handed her a printed email suggesting she had a secret double. "I knew then I'd made history," she quipped, because no trick could match raw conviction. Streaming platforms have reintroduced Basic Instinct with interactive companion tracks that overlay directors' audio commentary, storyboards, and on-set photography. One version allows viewers to toggle between Verhoeven's annotations and the actual takes, highlighting the moment when Stone first crosses and uncrosses her legs. This immersive approach invites a modern audience to experience the shot both as intended and as a technical marvel. Digital forensics teams have even published open-source scripts to demonstrate how iris recognition confirmed Stone's presence in every frame, turning what was once rumor into publicly verifiable fact. The film's approach to censorship also evolved due to the scene's enduring notoriety. Later R-rated and NC-17 productions grappled with how to preserve powerful imagery without sacrificing ratings. Filmmakers like Catherine Hardwicke and Steven Soderbergh cite Basic Instinct when negotiating with ratings boards, arguing that context and artist intent should outweigh momentary discomfort. In many cases, the conversation around the scene led to more nuanced standards that consider narrative purpose alongside content. Even contemporary thrillers pay homage. In a glossy neo-noir released last year, the director staged an interrogation sequence that deliberately frames and holds a revealing silhouette for extra beats, a direct nod to Verhoeven's daring. Interviews for that film reference Basic Instinct as the gold standard in balancing tension and revelation, demonstrating how one authentic moment can redefine a genre. On social media, the scene lives on in memes and artistic reinterpretations. TikTok creators upload slow-motion duets where they mimic Stone's posture, and digital artists overlay the interrogation room with surreal lighting to emphasize the procedural tension. Hashtags like #CineTruthChallenge invite users to post their own unedited takes, moments from indie films where performers circumvent CGI or body doubles to deliver genuine reactions. This interactive fandom turns a once-secret segment into a catalyst for celebrating real performance in an era of digital simulation. In all these dimensions, the classroom, the convention center, the streaming headset, and the director's chair, the heart of the Basic Instinct revelation remains the same. Authenticity resonates. 30 years on, audiences and creators alike still yearn for that unbreakable moment where flesh, focus, and frame converge. The scene's survival through rumor, denial, and high-tech scrutiny underscores a timeless truth. We respond to what feels undeniably real. Long live cinema's fearless quest for the authentic, forever. Even now, the Basic Instinct interrogation continues to shape cinematic language as both a technical marvel and a lesson in the emotional potency of unvarnished performance. When restoration teams unveiled forensic scans confirming that every frame belonged to Sharon Stone, they did more than quell decades of speculation. They celebrated the artistry hidden in plain sight. Filmmakers and scholars alike examine that sequence not only for its narrative impact, but also for the quiet collaborative devotion it demanded from everyone on set. In classrooms and studios worldwide, this scene is studied as a masterclass in trusting actors, honoring subtlety, and preserving integrity even under intense external pressure. Looking forward, the legacy of that single moment fuels innovation across genres. Directors now embrace longer takes and encourage actors to inhabit stillness, fostering tension through natural rhythms instead of rapid edits. Horror films use sustained close-ups to unsettle audiences. Romantic dramas lean on genuine gestures to convey intimacy, and action features experiment with uninterrupted fight sequences that feel more visceral. These creative horizons testify to the enduring power of a scene built on unfiltered human presence. Our craft evolves. Fans keep the conversation alive through digital tributes that underscore the personal bonds formed by that moment. TikTok storytellers recreate the scene in split-screen commentaries. Video essays dissect body language, and meme creators shift focus to Stone's unflinching gaze. Film podcasts dedicated entire episodes to analyzing micro-changes in lighting, while virtual watch parties generate communal astonishment. In an era dominated by special effects and CGI, audiences crave authenticity, and reinstating a pure performance remains one of cinema's most treasured achievements. This enduring fascination demonstrates something larger, that the bond between performer and viewer thrives on trust. When we suspect a trick, the emotional resonance fractures. But when we sense a shared reality, even for a fleeting beat, we feel connected. Stone's triumph transcended mere technical accomplishment. It affirmed cinema's unique capacity to mirror subtle truths. As future generations inherit this moment, they learn that film's greatest magic is not illusion alone, but the art of revealing human vulnerability with unwavering respect. Preservation efforts ensure this sequence will inspire storytellers for centuries. Archive institutions commit to safeguarding original negatives, production logs, and directors' annotations in accessible digital vaults. Meanwhile, emerging formats like immersive VR reenactment allow users to inhabit the interrogation room, observing camera positions and light grids firsthand. Interactive museum exhibits display restored 35mm reels alongside motion tracking demos, giving cinephiles a chance to study every nuance. Through these channels, the scene's authenticity circulates widely, reaffirming that real performance remains the beating heart of visual narrative. For Sharon Stone, that moment symbolizes a career-defining convergence of skill, confidence, and artistic bravery. In recent interviews, she reflects on the scene as a turning point that reaffirmed her convictions about character ownership and collaborative trust. She emphasizes how crucial it is for actors to command their craft thoroughly, advocating for rehearsal depth and open dialogue with directors. Stone's advocacy has influenced actor training. Drama schools now teach negotiation skills for preserving critical takes, ensuring performers share ownership of every frame. Ultimately, the Basic Instinct interrogation scene endures because it honors a simple principle. When every creative choice serves the actor's authentic presence, the audience responds with lasting engagement. 30 years later, we recognize that movie magic means more than elaborate set design or digital wizardry. It resides in the human pulse that anchors a story. That silent half-second, frozen in cinematic memory, reminds us that truth in performance requires not illusion, but courage, a reminder that, sometimes, what appears real is real. As viewers and creators alike continue to mine cinema's hidden layers, the unbroken truth of that moment stands as testament to collaborative devotion. When precision meets performance, art transcends spectacle. 30 years on, no rumor can dilute the power of Sharon Stone's unwavering gaze. In that instant, film affirmed its capacity to capture undeniable reality, and in doing so, altered the language of storytelling forever.